Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm so sorry I've been out for a week and so, and well, it's been a very rough week. We got sick at home, and finally, we're feeling much better. And yeah, so today, it's going to be the second part of my story of having my little baby girl. And it's going to be very hard because this part is where I talk more about how how I felt, how being a mother of a premature baby feels for me. um and yeah, so let's get to the story. Okay guys, so it is very hard for many women when they have been imagining having a normal birth for months, and suddenly they see that their baby it's not born, but they are taken when it's taken out. And especially when it's not the perfect timing to have the baby. And so I gave birth by C-section. I know I already said that. And it is necessary to be strong, yes. And of course, the most important thing is that the baby is healthy. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't require an adaptation and psychologic, as for a mother just to know that that it's going to be a premature baby and everything that you're gonna go through having it early. And the process is hard, but I know that God has given me a girl who was born at 36 week, and that it's a risk for both of us. um that she is a miracle. And at the moment, I didn't have her in my arms when she was born. I remember that they only laid her for like maybe 10 seconds, if that's a lot. It was 5 days being at the hospital after giving um, the news, that I was gonna have the baby. And at the moment, I remember that being discharged from the hospital, the very hard part was that I had to go home. And I had to go home without my baby girl. Um, I knew that I had to understand that I needed to recover myself while she stayed at NICU at the hospital, learning how to eat. I know that at that moment, God is was our sustenance, and I know that I'm going to soon testify of His love and His power and the pain that I felt inside. And this message is not only to spread that um, that throughout everything I have nothing but gratitude at that time with God, because I knew that there was a purpose for everything. And I knew that He knew that the day that they gave me the appointment to go see my doctor, for them to tell me, hey, you're going to the hospital. And He knew everything. He knew that it I mean, His timing is perfect, and He knew what He was gonna do. And so giving life is process, and equally being born
as a mother and becoming one is also a process. You are not born knowing what to do, and of course, there is an instinct that at the moment of fear, there are also little, they're so little, and in a moment of doubt, well, might I just be doing this right? Moment of I need to sleep. I just need 5 minutes. That frustration of I cannot get a good grip of the chest, or maybe just knowing a pain of the points of the C-section, or sometimes giving life is just knowing that it's not how we planned it, and I know that is surpassed. There's some point where the phrase that you will most listen is that is normal, but you also will know that it comes by some advice, and it's necessary to be filled with patience, a lot of patience. And one of the greatest joy is knowing that you're gonna finally going to meet that little person inside of you, and from the first day of her being born, it was the hardest and hardest day that I do not wish on anyone. I feel that I don't that I do not do well when I'm tired, and just knowing that maybe I'm without strength, and that I'm not 100% um, ready to just be a mom, because I mean, I know that you're just waiting on that moment to meet them, but then when reality hits you, it's like, oh my god, I'm a mom, but maybe I don't know how to give her breast milk, or how to give her the bottle, or she's crying and you don't know what it is, and they're just crying and crying. But like I said, at the very first time, is the very first time being a mother, and it's just hard because I don't even know how to say this, but let me just go on. um, all the plans and everything was the biggest shock and a tense moment full of worry, just because the moments where I cried of frightened and I was afraid of my life and hers. The only thing I can say is that I will always want the best for her, but that she's not home. Um, remembering that she wasn't home was very, very hard for me, because I was like, I don't have her here, but she's already born. But I felt like coming home and her not being here, I was doing wrong. But I was tired. I was trying to recover, and yes, I would go back and visit her, but it wasn't the same because I wasn't able to hold her. They would only just um, give her to me when they were gonna teach me how to give her the bottle, or try to make her latch on my breast and things like that. But it wasn't the same, knowing that you're a mom already and that you have your child with you at home, taking care of them, etc. That word premature hits me so hard. Knowing that they are called being premature just because they are born before time. Premature as if it was something bad. And being born before time is not anyone's fault. It was simply because that is how God wanted it. And I had to learn that because at one point I was like, it's my fault. But I know that at a point I'm gonna have to tell her, you were born to be the joy of everyone, and you do not have to be big to be loved. So small, you make us happy already. And it is true that you need to be more mature and that you need us for your needs, but that does make you special. It makes me think that I'm lucky to have met you before, and you were the scariest and the biggest fear when I knew that they were going to give me the happiness of meeting you before time, and knowing that she's a warrior, and that I was going to face new challenges with the help of God. We always overcome things with Him, and I had to learn to be strong so that her recovery would be bigger each day. And it's when she was born, it was a month full of just battles and worry, but I know that God has been my strength till today. It has not been easy, not easy at all, but every achievement that she gives me is the best for me because I know that she's growing to be a healthy girl. Um, each each achievement makes me just tell her, hey, we did it, yay. You're learning how to say bye, you're learning how to sit, you're learning how to eat, you're learning how to each thing, because um I see her, and when I see her, I'm just like, oh my God, you're so little, but you're so big. I mean, she's almost about to be 11, and I just can't express my feelings to God of how I feel, because I know that it's been so, so hard. Being a premature baby mom is learning that children arrive when God wants and not when the doctor says. That motherhood begins with the bitterest tears that you never imagine you're going to shed. And the first time when you see your child through a crib, that it's a glass, that you're not able to touch them. But it's also to learn that the squeeze of a 1 centimeter hen is as strong as a bear, and that the smallest form of expressing their love are giants. And above all, you learn that the true meaning of love, of life, because it's incredible to see how they each day are just fighting for their life, and it's incredible to see such a small being fight like lions and get ahead, although not all of those baby are able to achieve that. And being the mother of a premature baby is learning to wait to enjoy the best life that they can give us. I give thanks to God because His love is so great and there is no one like Him. I know that their needs are different from other babies, and that makes them feel like a warrior. And I feel like it was my fault, and I know that it's not. I know that it was God's purpose, and He was preparing me to be a strong person. Um, and a premature child marks the life of a mother, and I know that I'm not gonna be the same as I used to be. I see I see things different now because just knowing that I had a baby born before time taught me so much to just love life itself. But I know that God, gave me a special baby to begin with, and that I had to accept through the very first time, knowing that I had to go ahead and accept that I was going to have her as a C-section, that I was going to have her early. And I just have to know that there's always a purpose on God why He does things a certain way. She was so small, guys. Y'all have no idea. She weighed 4 pounds and 1 ounce. This small. Literally. She was very long, yes, but she was so small. And I remember that I had to count the time in different ways because it was something difficult to understand, to leave from the intensive care with applause and to leave with fear of the wind, of anything, just fear of something would happen because she was so small. All parents are warriors, that's for sure, but of a premature one, it's necessary to be a warrior, double fighters, to know that at any moment, it can collapse. And but with the strength of God, I always say, I mention God because I know it's God's miracle, and there's no doubt. God gave me a force that comes from someone who left the uterus ahead of time, and I just want to thank God for allowing me to spend just allowing me to spend 10 months of recognizing that throughout everything He's always here with us. Being a mom of a premature is also full of surprise and a lack of preparation. Is not being able to hold them at birth, is to look at it through a crib that is a glass, like I said, and it feels, and you can only feel their little tips of fingers after having to wash your hands for 2 minutes to be able to enter the intensive care and going to go see your baby. It's becoming addicted to the monitors and watching them take their milk through a tube that is connected through their nose, and expecting it to increase enough through the days, and to know that there will be days that goes up to 10 grams, and the next day they lose everything, because each day is something new. It's a huge desperation. It's seeing that every day they have to be done. They have to be getting done exams and hoping that everything went well. It's getting to the hospital with nerves and waiting to be told that everything is so stable, and it's also becomes a routine. Everything is so stable that coming home, going to the intensive care, coming home, going to the intensive care to go see your baby, and just to rest, and to have to go see your baby again, full of cables and monitors. It's having lots of faith and hope. It's being so strong to see your baby suffer and not being to do anything. It's talking to your baby, telling them everything will be okay. And having tears running down your cheek and not being able to kiss them. And at the same time, just giving them encouragement to get out of there soon. To be a parent of premature is to have a huge miracle. And it's just so hard, guys. I don't know how much more I can express of it being so hard. I just want to let you know that it was a rough experience for me, very hard. But when you experience the love of God, and when He teaches you to be strong and just to have faith in Him, the last thing that you can lose is faith and hope. And you overcome everything, each barrier, anything, just anything. I'm gonna be posting pictures of her, of how small she was, the few pictures that I was able to get. And just go ahead and like this video, share it, part 1 and part 2. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so. Comment below if anyone has experienced that. I just want to go ahead and I'm gonna be linking my social media below as well, and y'all can go ahead and follow me. I'll be posting more things about of my baby. Sorry for the long week that I had. Like I said, we were sick at home, and we're finally, coming back to recording. So, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and stay tuned for, I'm planning some giveaways very soon. So, thank you. Bye.